We are deep into the Lightning offseason. Just wanted to check in, make sure everyone's still good, we're still alive, we're still feeling all right, still living good. It's been real quiet on the Lightning front for obvious reasons. Like I said, deep in the offseason until today. Apparently, Jeff Vinik is selling the Lightning for around $2 billion. Whoa. Thankfully, he said there won't be a change to the day-to-day operations. He still has, a stronghold on that side of things. So that's great news. But, whoa. Got me a little concerned there because I do not want Jeff Vinik stepping away from this organization at all. Anyways, that's not what this video is about. Did the Lightning get better or worse in free agency? We're going to be looking at the additions and the subtractions. What type of play styles were gained, what type of play styles were lost, and how that helps or hurts the team. Pretty much just like an off-season recap to make sure we're still good. Obviously, massive moves were made this offseason, and I think the very clear and obvious goal based on the moves that were made for this front office was get younger and get better in 5-on-5 play, which I think all of us watching the team last season can agree both of those did need to happen. Was there a cost? A major cost, but it needed to happen. So let's start from the top. Mikhail Sergachev traded to the Utah Hockey Club. He was just the first big domino to fall. And, we knew one of these larger contracts were going to be moved because the Lightning needed to clear up cap space to do what they wanted to do this offseason. Happened to be Sergachev. Missed a big chunk of last season due to injury, was able to make it back for a piece of the playoffs, but that didn't last long, and here we go. He's on a different team, and in return, the Lightning got a pretty big haul. I mean, Connor Geekie, top prospect for the Coyotes, now Utah Hockey Club, is now with the Lightning, 20-year-old forward. JJ Moser, young defenseman, second-round pick, so the haul is there. No denying that. In terms of immediate impact, JJ Moser is going to be the only guy there, but super excited for the future of Connor Geekie. Getting younger? Yeah. I mean, Sergachev wasn't old, but they did indeed get younger. And I know this isn't how it works, but Sergachev was pretty much not playing last season, so losing Sergachev, trading him, we're not going to be any worse defensively than we were last season. You bring in JJ Moser, solid young piece who can improve and continue to improve as he has with the Arizona Coyotes. The piece that we're really going to miss with Sergachev, it's not defensively, it's offensively. Because he was an offensive defenseman, puck-moving defenseman, whatever term you want to use to call him. He was that. And there is nobody that the Lightning picked up this offseason that can replace what he brought from that point. And we saw it not last year, but the year before that. Sergachev pretty much booted Hedman off that first power play and took over. He did, and played fantastic on that first power play. Tons of points that season, and he really looks like that guy. He did. Defensively, his numbers have never really been there, but it is going to hurt losing that offensive mind coming back from that defensive position. It will. And like I said, there's no one that can replace that. But as I said, want to get younger, get better defensively, get better 5-on-5, and they moved Sergachev, not really fitting the mold with that big contract, wasn't fitting what the Lightning were going for, and what they were going for, defense. And who has fantastic defense despite his age? Ryan McDonagh. That man is still a brick wall to this day. Don't need to talk too much about Ryan McDonagh's game. All of us know all about it. He is that guy. He's a leader. I do think Hedman will be the captain, but dark horse, Ryan McDonagh, I don't think that's being talked about enough. And, I mean, Andrei Vasilevsky. Losing his guy, his Russian buddy, Sergachev, he still has to be thrilled to have Ryan McDonagh back on this team. The knowledge, the awareness, the defensive prowess that McDonagh brings to just a defensive group. Yeah. Immediate defensive improvement, immediate 5-on-5 improvement. Absolutely love that trade. They sent a second and a seventh and then received a fourth and McDonough in return. I'm very much happy with that. Now let's go over to the Tanner Jeannot trade, which, again, I am thrilled about. I mean, sorry, Tanner, but it didn't work out here. I don't think Tanner Jeannot's a bad player. I really don't. It just did not work in Tampa at all. I think he is, as a player, closer to what he was in Nashville than what he showed us in Tampa. Because what he showed us in Tampa was a guy that was a healthy scratch in the playoffs. No, thank you. Less than 20 points over 75 games with the Lightning. And the fact that we were able to get a second and a fourth round pick for that, scratched during the playoffs, less than 20 points over 75 games, I will happily take that. So, not an immediate impact being received from the Tanner Jeannot trade, but the Tanner Jeannot is a loss. Not a huge loss to the team, but just being able to get something. I'm good with it. And here we go. Next comes Jake Guentzel. Lightning trade for his rights, which sounds kind of weird. They trade for the rights to sign him, and they make it happen. Big boy contract given to Jake Guentzel, and again, immediate boost to 5-on-5 play for the Tampa Bay Lightning. That line, Guentzel, Point, Cooch, definitely going to be one of the best lines in the NHL easily. But let's continue going, because power play, I guess, is where we bring up Steven Stamkos. Gone. Captain, gone. Where I think Stamkos will be missed the most outside of his leadership is definitely the power play. For sure. Stamkos sitting in his office, we saw it for over a decade. It's unguardable at times, especially when you have Kucherov on the other side. So losing Stamkos in his office, how does this power play end up? Genssel's really good in the middle, so do they take Point out of that middle slot there and put Guentzel there? And I think Braden Point is a better shooter than Guentzel, so does he go to where Stamkos was? I don't know how it ends up playing out, but I do think the power play takes a dip. I do. I mean, there's no one on this team that can replace what Stamkos brought from his office. I mean, we're talking about vintage Stamkos. He could do that for 4 or 5 more years easily, in my opinion. 5-on-5, we'll get to that. But we're talking about power play right now. I do think the power play will take a dip, and I think that's okay. I think that's okay. They had the best power play in the NHL last year. Pretty consensus, like stats and opinion based. Like, it was an unstoppable power play for a lot of the season, and you just can't rely on that in the playoffs, though. And that was made very obvious. So I think we can all agree Guentzel is a much better 5-on-5 player right now than Steven Stamkos at this stage in his career. And I think I can confidently say I'm happy and okay with the best power play in the NHL taking a little bit of a hit to get a big boost to the 5-on-5 play. You see, like, it hurts losing Stamkos, but this needed to happen. We watched what happened last year. This team was not a good 5-on-5 team all throughout the regular season. But that power play saved them in so many games. They won so many games from that power play. But you get into the playoffs, things get tighter, teams start to suffocate you. You can't rely on that power play. And Florida Panthers suffocated the Lightning's power play. And 5-on-5, they can't compete with Florida last season. They could not compete with Florida last season 5-on-5. And it was very obvious. Gentleman's sweep. You know, it's no other way to say it. It had to happen. Then following that up, the Lightning signed Zemgus Girgensons, solid fourth liner, and then Cam Atkinson, up there in age, but had a decent year last year and can make something happen. You can read my feelings about that, because it seems like the Lightning are expecting him to be a top 6 forward for them, and I don't love that. I don't love that. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I really did want the Lightning to pick up another top 6 forward. It just didn't happen, and it looks like it's gonna be Atkinson or Sheary, or I don't know. I don't know who else they put in that top six forward. So let's go over the additions. Jake Gensel, JJ Moser, Cam Atkinson, Gergensons, Ryan McDonough, Connor Geekie. Losses: Steven Stamkos, Kale Sergachev, Anthony Duclair, Matt Dumba, Tanner Jeannot, Tyler Mott, Calvin DeHaan. Looking at those losses, you lose Stamkos hurts, leadership and power play. Sergachev, that offensive defenseman, the skill, the vision, that hurts. Duclair, I wish the Lightning did re-sign Duclair. I like what Duclair brought to this team. I just don't think the Lightning were willing to pay the price he ended up going for. I think it was maybe a little over $3 million a year. Matt Dumba, yeah, I'm good with that. Cutting ties there. Tanner Jeannot, good with cutting ties. Tyler Mott, Calvin DeHaan. It's okay. It's a wash. So let's go over this projected starting lineup. Top line, fantastic, like I said. Second line, I mean, you're looking good with Hagel. You know what Hagel's going to bring. Hagel's that guy. Cirelli, I mean, we know what Cirelli's going to bring. Every year I continue to hope there's another step right there. There's another step for Anthony Cirelli to climb up offensively, and it just hasn't happened yet. I guess another year of hoping, but I would not count on it. And then that other winger, Atkinson, who's projected, I don't love it. Going further back, third line, Nick Paul, great, love him as a third line center. That's fantastic. Then you look at the wingers. Mitchell Chaffee, pretty unproven there. Other side, Connor Sheary, not a very good year last year. There is stuff coming out of the Lightning's camp, whatever you want to call it, that there were more injuries than were made public surrounding Connor Sheary last year. So apparently they are expecting him to take on a much heavier load, expecting a lot more from Connor Sheary this season. I'll believe it when I see it. I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, Connor Sheary, great. I mean, we didn't see it last season. They're saying it's injury. If it's injury, cool. Then we should see an improvement this year, and that's what I'm hoping for. Fourth line, I think it's pretty solid. I don't think it's fantastic. I don't think it's bad. I think it's a solid fourth line. That defensive room, honestly, I like it. Even losing Sergachev wasn't on this picture last year. He was out injured. So, you think there's a Dumba in there or a Lilleberg. I like what we have here. Adding McDonough, paired with Perbix there, Chernak. We got Moser, Hedman. I mean, it's a solid group, and I think it is better than last year's group. So I'm good with that. That's what the whole video is about. Do I think the Lightning will be better or worse after this offseason? It's tough to say. I don't think there's an obvious answer like, of course they're going to be better, or of course they're going to be worse. You lost a lot, but you also gained a lot. And it's in different areas. They are switching play style a bit. Not necessarily switching play style, but they're going after what they needed, which was, as we talked about, getting younger, defensive, 5-on-5, and you're losing out on a good bit of skill when you talk about Sergachev and Stamkos. I think this team has enough skill. You got Point, you got Kucherov. This team has skill. So I don't think they're going to be lacking skill after these losses. But I do think they will take that step in 5-on-5 in the right direction. So I will say I do think this team will be slightly better. I don't think they're going to be first in the Atlantic or even second in the Atlantic. I think they can maybe sneak into that third spot and avoid a wild card, but I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, they got Jake Gensel. They're going, to make this massive improvement. I will say slight improvement and trying to be realistic, not trying to be too, oh my goodness, the word is completely blanking me. Bias. Not trying to be too biased, but yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. It's nice talking about the Lightning. Like I said, it's been a while. Football, gearing up, big time. Baseball, the Rays are just being the Rays right now. Very frustrating. So happy to talk about the Lightning. It's been a while. So everyone who watches the Lightning and doesn't watch the Rays or the Bucks videos, welcome back. Good to see y'all. Hope you all been well. Leave your comments down below what you guys have thought about this offseason and what you guys project for the Lightning going into this season. Will they be better or worse? Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. Go Bolts. Y'all have a blessed one.